Hey guys, welcome back to 10 years later. Dexter's laboratory. Dexter there is still a scientist working on latest inventions after another. Like how he's done several groundbreaking stuff over the past 10 years. For Dee Dee, for Dee Dee, I think I don't know what she would do, but I imagine Dexter has now a big laboratory, like, like, like the size of, a, like, like. Oh, come on, push. Anyway, Dexter and Dee Dee are still. While Dee Dee doesn't confess her love for Dark is behind bars in the future. Now I'm gonna regularly ask that the Dexter feature-length movie that was supposed to be the series finale. And then you know what happened? Then from there, Dexter is now working on inventions after inventions after invention. He's now working on invention after invention after invention with now legion of robots. Now he has tons of inventions. He he working he working on like several scientific projects that made while Mandar was being held in a solitary confinement cell for the next 85 years. 85 years. He and anyway, wait, that there has been his parents. Dexter there is working. Well, Mandar, what did he do? You don't want to know what Mandar did that wound up in prison. Halfway through the special titled Dexter Laboratory, or 10 years later, we get flashback to Dee Dee 15 years ago, when Dee Dee was 15. You see, the characters are all in their 30s. He said Dexter finally said his first line in the episode. The first part, half of the episode, would be about montage. His mom is still germophobic. And Dexter had worked well into the night on most of his invention. Dexter, when was the last time you visited Dexter's laboratory in the heart of the city? Remember, he named his building Dexter's Lab. Where you had to do. He learned from all the time that Dee Dee got in back when his old lab to install. She said, Dexter. But then again, Dee Dee got figured out how to get past that, as always. Dee Dee was holding a. Dee Dee said to her brother, "Hey, Dexter." Anyway, Dexter gave her the code a few years back. Anyway, Dexter said, he said, man, ever since you graduated school, you were only like, what, 4, maybe? You were like, what, 14, 17 when you. I was held back so many years, Dexter, that I had to go to a community college. Dee Dee also wasn't that far, so she had to repeat the same grades over and over again. Dexter graduated college at the tender age of 17 instead of 20. Dexter opened up. Now Mandark was still behind bars when he heard the news that Dexter had a world-breaking invention. He said. He turned off the TV. Dexter, have you not heard that Mandark can made on parole? Mandark? How? After all he did, he wound up on parole? Yeah. What did he do, you probably wonder? Well, he tried to get rid of the world unless they made him mad scientist. And that was over 5 years ago. Go, Dexter said. I know, Dexter. So, he. Oh. This just in. Mandark. Mandark said, you know what? Mandark just gave the prison he was being held in to get revenge on only one person. Dexter. He was only after Dexter. And then Dee Dee heard the news. She immediately rushed over to Dexter's lab. Look. She went through all the stuff. There was Dexter, working on an experiment that he had about Isaac Newton. when Dee told him about the news. Mandark, you fool. As, as Dexter turned on his own TV and heard that, Mimi, Lily, and the rest of the gang, like, are all doing. Mimi and Lily are now spies. The Dee. This sounds like a job for me. Girl squad. As Dexter said, as Dee Dee went out of his lab and told Dexter to meet up at her house to figure out what to do about Mandark. Should we tell the parent? Should we tell these stories that he escaped? But then she had a different idea. That night, she couldn't sleep. And said, Mimi and Lily, meet up at my apartment in 45 seconds. Got you, 45 seconds. As she hung up the phone. Time for girl squad to go back into action. Dee Dee also had something with Mimi and Lily in her 20s. Dexter, at least, they're all at their age of 30 or 20. What Dee Dee did with Mimi and Lily, her best friends, what? They became basically spies for themselves. And then Dee Dee realized that she needs girl squad. And she pressed a button, a secret button that transformed her apartment back into Girl Squad HQ. As she literally told Mimi and Lily about thinking about becoming like a spy from. She signed up with on the President's Secret Service, which is basically the U.S. version of Her Majesty's Secret Service, which Bond worked for. As Mimi and Lily understood their mission. Okay, listen, girls. This is the most dangerous mission we've ever gone on as the secret undercover Girl Squad. Codename Girl Squad. Mimi, as Lily said, shouldn't the acronym be something different? The secret undercover fine force for female. It didn't cross my mind. And also, Dee Dee partially does. She also does ballet, but she doesn't. She's also a ballet dancer. Now, Dexter and Dee Dee both do. Well, Dexter's a famous scientist, and Dee Dee kind of with Girl Squad and ballet. Then it's time for the main story of the movie to begin. Mandark. Mandark looked different. He literally escaped back to his old laboratory. He literally escaped back to his old laboratory. As he said, as Dexter decides to power up Robo Dexter 3000 then Robo Dexter 3000 power up. Beep 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 as he powered up his while Dee Dee took a spy approach to it. Dexter together, Dexter and Dee Dee worked as a good old team like they used to before the Mandark incident. Which is something that the special will reveal what happened. Turns out Mandark and Dee Dee were dating for approximately 4 years. And then Dexter, and then we have a Dee Dee and Dexter sat together again, Dee Dee, and Mandark said, "Ha ha ha, ha ha ha." He literally, as Oceanbird and Windbear, his parents were called. Again, the first time we went to prison, as once again, the cops arrested him. Not before. But then, Sue, as Dexter and Dee Dee almost walked out when Susan. How many times do I have to tell you I'm not a girl? How many times do we have to, as Oceanbird and Windbear literally tore into Mandark behind bars? Oceanbird and Windbear are his parents. How many times do I have to tell you, son? You're a hippie. Act like more like a hippie and less like a genius scientist. And I'd rather be in here. As Mandark said to his parents, nothing. As Oceanbird and Windbear literally said, as he said, "Mom, Dad, stop calling us that. Stop calling. You know what, son? You know what, Susan? We're disowning you. You can get a new name with new parents because again you were behind bars for trying to kill for trying to kill the guy. You've gone out of your mind, Susan. Goodbye, Susan. We're disowning you." As Oceanbird and Windbear went back to their home. Mandark just sat there. And Mandark said, "That's fine by me, mother." Father? Dexter asked what happened between the two of you. Dexter, is it? Maybe we should have given him a boring name. This is not like a part one of a two-part. Guys, this is only part one. Let me tell you what happens in part two. In part two, we pick up. This is. Well, in part two, we kind of the same thing with Dexter. With Dexter, with Mandar being exactly how he was when we left off in part one. That's all you ever wanted. With parents that gave him a boy that didn't treat him like a hippie. Turns out he didn't want to be a hippie. He wanted to be a scientist like Dexter. Like Dexter. And when he got out this time on parole, halfway through the second part of the special that long that need two whole parts to contain. And Mandar became a well-known scientist. And he even picked the name Dave as his real name. His parents disowned him. So we end the Dexter's Laboratory 10 years later, two-part episode with Dexter finally, with Dexter and Mandar shaking hands as best friends that build Mandar and Dexter Enterprise, a business together, because Dexter and Mandar know everything together about business. Well, Dee Dee works for now on the President's Secret Service, but as a spy now. She only sees Dexter once, maybe twice a year. And she gave up her own dream of being a ballet dancer to become a spy. But then she quit one day. And now she's a famous ballet teacher. Now she's a famous ballet dancer. And Dexter said all of it to his wife. And also Dexter got married. We ended it with post-credits at the end. And then we have a thank you message for everyone that made Dexter Laboratory. Until next Tuesday. See you guys. I can't wait to start a brand new season of These Are the Stories of the Island on Tuesday. Till then, I'm not Punch, and we'll see you later. Bye.